Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be talking about makeup myths and discussing whether there's any truth behind them or if they are really just a load of made up mumbo jumbo. So the first one that we're going to talk about today is whether cosmetics expire or not, and the myth is that they don't, which is really bizarre. Of course they do. As soon as you open the product, the shelf life starts to expire from there. Now you can tell how long your product has by looking on the back of it, and there'll be an icon which looks like a pot opening, and there'll be a number next to it, might say 12M or 6M, and that's the amount of months that you have once you've opened it that the product's actually going to be good for. Now I know that on some hand creams it's there, it's also on body wash, it's on mascaras, eyeliners, everything has this. And if you did want to check how long the life was, you can just turn to the back and you'll be able to tell from there. Now mascara, I think typically either says 12 or 6, but generally it's suggested that no longer than 8 months, and I tend to follow that just because it is going on my eye. I really don't want to cause any infections or any issues for myself down the line, so I do think that one is made up and it's just ridiculous and should be ignored. Do take care with your makeup, do make sure that you are following the expiry. Obviously if you do keep using expired makeup, you're using that at a risk that you're going to cause inflammation and potentially some sort of reaction that you wouldn't have had prior to that. So myth number 2 that we're going to discuss is that you don't need to remove your makeup before you go to bed. And again, that is really silly. Now there are days, of course, that some of us, maybe we've been out, maybe we've had a really busy day, and the thought of taking our makeup off is just absolutely not going to happen. We're too tired and we just fall asleep with a full face of makeup. I've done it, of course I have. Tell me someone who hasn't done that. But doing it on a regular basis is not a great idea, because what it is going to do, it's going to clog up your skin pores and it could potentially cause breakouts, and it's going to interfere with your skin regenerating, but also there is a moisturising process that happens when you sleep and it's going to interfere with that as well. So typically what I will do as my makeup removal skincare routine is I will wipe my makeup off with a makeup puff, a reusable one, wash my face with a exfoliator or something like that, pat it dry, pop on my cream that I'm going to have overnight, and just to make sure that I'm really giving my skin a chance to rest. And then once a week if I can, I tend not to wear makeup, again just to give my skin a full day of rest without makeup. Especially if I have gone to sleep with makeup on the night before, I really try to make sure once a week I don't wear makeup at all. But yes, definitely I would say make sure that you do take off your makeup where you can. Another myth that I heard around this was that every night you don't take your makeup off, your skin ages by 7 years. Now to me that sounds ridiculous, but it is enough of a threat for me to take my makeup off every night and think, even if it isn't true, it's in my head now that that's a possibility. So I will make sure again that I take that off and I follow my skincare routine every night. So the next myth is a really interesting one, and that's around makeup brushes. Now the myth goes that you don't need to wash your makeup brushes if you're the only one that uses them, and I cannot tell you how stupid that is. Now when we buy clothes and we've worn them, we wash them. Of course we do. Even if we're the only person that's worn them, which typically is what happens, we will still wash our clothes. That shouldn't be any different for makeup brushes. Now with your makeup brushes, as you use them over time, not only do they get clogged full of product, but there's going to be bacteria in here, there's going to be all sorts of things in here that I don't want to keep applying to my face. So you absolutely should be washing your makeup brushes. Now it's up to you how you want to do it. There is the makeup tools that you can get, the electric ones, and I have got one of those for a later video to show you how those work and to see actually if they really work as well as they should. You could just use some soap, or you see all the dust coming off that, or you could get makeup cleaner and use it that way. As long as you make sure that you are washing them, that's all good. And I'd say the same for your makeup beauty blenders as well, because obviously we rely on these quite a lot, and if you're like me, as I said, you use them most days, so you do want to make sure that they are being cleaned and dried properly. So absolutely do make sure that you wash your brushes. I've heard many a horror story of people who've caught infections and had horrible things occur because they haven't used or haven't cleaned their makeup brushes properly, or at all in some cases. So yes, absolutely debunk that one. I would suggest that you do make sure that you wash your brushes. So myth number 4 is that you don't need sunscreen if your foundation has it in it, and I really hope that I'm just telling you things that you know here, and that of course you would wear foundation and sunscreen. Makeup will not provide you with adequate protection from the sun, and you shouldn't rely on it solely. What I would suggest is that you use sunscreen as an extra layer of protection. You cannot have too much protection. Now, I suffer from prickly heat, so whenever I'm in the sun, if I get too warm, if the sun's too hot, I will break out in eczema. So I am really avid about wearing sunscreen. I'm so susceptible to prickly heat that I have to take antihistamines from the minute it starts to get warmer all the way through to about October. So from March to October I am taking an antihistamine a day just to help my skin and to help me not break out. But my foundation is nowhere near a substitute for sunscreen. What you can do if you wanted, you can get the face mist sunscreens, and you can do that. You don't have to put it on and pat it, but you can definitely get the mist, and that is one way around. If you're concerned that you're going to put sunscreen on and it's going to ruin your makeup, use a misting one. It really is a very good alternative and a good way to keep your makeup in place as well. Now, the last one that I'm going to talk about is one that I actually do agree with, which I didn't think I'd be saying, and that is that waterproof eyeliner is better than normal eyeliner, and for me it is. Now, the myth that the site that I've been looking on, it goes on to say, unless you're going to the beach, why do you need it? It's harder to take off. And yes, it is, and that can be really good. So things like if you are in, I don't know, a dance competition, you're going to want some waterproof eyeliner and mascara and products like that. If you are doing something, maybe you are going to a gig or a night out, and you know you're going to get warm. Potentially if you're at a gig, there's going to be beer thrown, it just happens for some reason. You're going to want to make sure that your makeup is sitting exactly where you put it. For me, I ride a motorbike, and when I have my helmet half up or the visor open, I have wind and bugs and all sorts going in my face, and I can be 100% happy that when I take my helmet off, my eyeliner is going to be exactly where I put it. So for me, waterproof eyeliner is better than normal eyeliner for my life, for the things that I do, for my activities. However, it may not be for you, and it is harder to take off, but it's not impossible. Just some water will take it off, and then just using my Soap and Glory face wash takes the rest off for me. So I think that particular myth is ambiguous. It's definitely like a blanket approach to people, and that's not how we are. So I would say that if you do something, maybe you ride a bike, maybe you have gymnastics or dance or anything like that where you think actually there's a chance my makeup is going to get smudged, absolutely go for waterproof all down the line, all the way. But again, it's up to you. It will just depend on what it is that you get up to. So that's actually it for this video, guys. There's a short one for today. There will be a part 2 coming out, because you will not believe the amount of myths that I have found online. They are just phenomenal. But that's the end of the video for today, guys. So as I said, it was just 5 myths that we're doing. There will be a part 2 because there's so many more myths out there, and some of them are quite interesting and some of them are just absolute idiocy. So there will be a part 2 coming in the next few weeks. But as always, please like the video, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's free for you, and it really helps me out a lot. It helps the channel out, it helps the channel grow. But yeah, let me know what you think. What are some weird myths that you've heard? What are some myths that you maybe don't agree with? Do let me know. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay happy and stay healthy.